What is up, you guys? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I want to lock down my 2024 favorites of the year. So make sure to make use of all the timestamps that I'm going to put underneath this video, because you might just want to look at one category. And I'm not going to start with makeup this time. I'm going to start with hair care. I'm going to do a little bit of skincare, fragrances, and then I'm going to move on to makeup. All of the products are going to be mentioned down below in affiliates, and if I've received anything from PR, I'm going to mention that as well. Let's first start with hair. Hair is a new category that I'm adding because I actually spent a lot of time this year on my hair, a lot of money, a lot of time, and just trying to get some type of hair care routine. Hair is not something that I enjoy doing. It's not like makeup that kind of comes naturally to me. Skincare as well. I like skincare and makeup, and I've always just left my hair alone. I got divorced in 2024. I got divorced in January, and the amount of hair I had left kind of left me feeling sad and depressed. I just, hair is so important for your overall mental health that I wanted to do something about it. So I was watching a lot of reviews, and I have been dabbling in some hair care products. Before I go into the shower, I actually oil my scalp with rosemary oil. I haven't found one that I completely enjoy. Same goes for shampoos. I do have a hair system that I really enjoyed this year. Only product I still have left from the system is this one. It's the Aromatica Rosemary line, and this is the root enhancer. I also got the scalp treatment and the shampoo. They're going to be in my empties video. My empties video is going to be uploaded soon as well. But I've been really enjoying the trio. All of them kind of burn because there's some mintiness in it. Now, I have seborrheic dermatitis, so I have a special shampoo that I need to use. And the burn is something that I personally enjoy because I have a very itchy scalp, flaky scalp. I have a lot of problems. My hair porosity is low. It's often oily at the scalp and very dry at the ends. And I have thin hair, so a lot of problems that I need to tackle. But this rosemary root enhancer, after I come out of the shower, so nice for the scalp, and it doesn't actually make my hair feel oily afterwards. So it actually dries normally. So it's a nice scalp treatment, but it doesn't actually make my hair look worse after I put it on, which is sometimes the issue with hair care products, that I put on a hair care product after I wash my hair and then my hair looks unwashed. This was not one of them. Made TikTok famous, the K18 Bond Repair. I needed to try it. I tried it at the beginning of the year, and it's a leave-in mask. It's really been helping my ends. So this is something that after you come out of the shower, you don't do anything. You're not allowed to use conditioner, but instead you're going to use the K18 hair mask for your split ends. So a big problem with my hair is breakage. It was breaking left and right, and I wasn't doing anything with my hair. I wasn't actually blow drying it, and I don't know why there was so much breakage. So next to the fact that my hair was falling out at the root, the hair that I had left was breaking at the tip. The K18 hair mask, it took me a while to kind of get into it because I was like, I don't see a difference, but it actually does work, and I feel like my hair is growing longer and more naturally. It just looks better overall. So I'm going to continue on using this, and I've already finished 2 of them, so you're going to see some of my empty videos. Another hair mask that's not a leave-in hair mask is this Amica Flash Instant Shine Mask. This isn't empty. I had to get out of my empties bin, but I did want to talk about it because it makes my hair so shiny. This is a hair mask that I put on in the shower, and it makes my hair look less frizzy, but also adds so much shine. It is a really nice system where you can just, really easily apply it to the root. And it didn't make my hair look heavier than it is. It didn't make my hair look oilier. My hair felt like it was moisturized and simply looked better after I came out of the shower. When I use this, I don't have to blow dry my hair, and it still looks very beautiful. And I'm kind of using products like this not only to add a little bit of shine to the hair, but also because my hair likes to tangle easily. And having something like this actually made it so that my hair didn't tangle as much. I want to mention in hair is a dry shampoo from Amica. I actually bought an Amica, what's that called, curl, blow dryer kind of situation, and I got this one. Remember thinking I don't know what to do with this. I'm not a dry shampoo user, but since I have black hair, a lot of dry shampoos come out white. This one does come out white, but it doesn't stay white. So if I just kind of zhuzh my hair afterwards, it looks like there's nothing else in my hair. It works really well. It makes my hair look like it's not oily at all. So I have been using it a lot. I have very little left, but this has also been a game changer for me. So for someone that doesn't like to use a lot on the hair, This was nice to have, and I didn't think I needed it, but now I can't live without it. Let's talk a little bit about skincare. My skincare routine for the past few years, I want to say 2 to 3 years, has been completely set. I didn't want to do anything with my skincare routine. I wanted to do a skincare diet because I had kind of like I feel like I've broken my skin barrier because I was actually testing out way too many products, and this was pre-channel, so I've always enjoyed skincare. So I took a break for my channel to just focus on makeup, and my skincare routine was kind of just a cleanser, a BHA toner from Paula's Choice, and then I would use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, and those were kind of my 3 staples, and then of course the sunscreen, and the sunscreen was the only thing that I would sometimes experiment with. I'm turning 35 soon, and I feel like my skin has been changing. Like, I actually know my skin has changed a lot from 25 to 35. For example, I'm not oily anymore. I'm combination oily. I feel like acne is not as much on the foreground as the main issue. I think the main issue is that I get freckles and sunspots. Also, I feel like wrinkles were really starting to show. So I wanted to introduce a retinol or retina or something anti-aging. One that I've been using, and my skin seems to really respond well to it. Same goes for my routine. So I don't use this when I use a BHA, but I've been using this Sun By Me Retinol Intense. So this little Sun By Me, it comes out kind of like a milky consistency, and there's 0.1% retinol in here, and I decided to go with a low dosage because I was afraid that maybe my skin would be irritated if I started with like 0.3%, but this has been kind of an overnight game changer for me. Not all skincare does it. Most skincare I test out a lot, but when I started using my retinol, it just changed my skin. It makes it look like it's a few years younger. Wrinkles that I had, like there's a wrinkle here across my nose. If I scrunch down, you can definitely see it. But that one was getting pretty prominent. And since I've been using this one, that wrinkle has kind of smoothed itself out. Same goes for a forehead wrinkle that I could see. And I think a lot of people were like, what are you talking about? But I could see it. It also smooths itself out. So I feel like it's doing a really good job with that slow aging, anti-aging. And I'm really enjoying it. Another product that I've been really enjoying and I would like to test out more, this is the original. It's the VT Riedel Shot. So I also was derma rolling my face. I've been derma rolling for a long time. I just think it's such tedious work. And this is sort of like a derma rolling situation, but then within a cream. Riedel Shot has a lot of variations. This is the 100, but you can go all the way up to 1,000. And there's also Riedel Shot Collagen or Riedel Shot, you name it. There's so many like different variations because it's such a popular product. I have been using it not so long ago, but because I've been using the Riedel Shot and then the retinol in combination, I feel like it's less work than doing derma rolling, more sanitary, and simply I see more results with it. So I've been really enjoying the combination of the two. The Riedel Shot 100 you could use on a day-to-day basis. I personally don't. It doesn't really hurt that bad. I think it's okay. I think I can go up to 300 if I wanted to. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this up, but I'm so happy that this is here because I was kind of over derma rolling my face. For body, I've been testing out the remedy for body bumps. I did a short on this, even though not many people watch the short, and I feel like skincare never does well on my channel. The remedy for body bumps, I actually really enjoy. I gave it a rating of 8 out of 10, but I wanted to mention it because it actually has improved my texture so much. My skin is so soft that I debated putting it in this video, but I can't deny that it really improved my keratosis pilaris, or like chicken skin if you want to call it. The only thing that I still see, and this is why I give it an 8 out of 10, is my discoloration is still there, but the texture in itself is almost completely gone. And the texture is one thing that I was quite insecure about. Yes, they sent me in PR alongside with 2 other products, but I'm so happy that I got to test this out. I feel like I have very little left. So I've been using this for 6 weeks straight, every single day, once a day. You could use it day and night, but I used it once a day. And I felt like it needed a spot somewhere because it has really improved my texture. So for lip care, I have two items. I also have a Remedy lip care for dry lips. Now, dry lips has been an issue for me, especially in the winter time. My lips like to be chapped. They like to be broken. They never seem to like cooperate with me. And the Remedy for dry lips is an all-in-one lip treatment, and you can actually see at the back it has ceramides, peptides, and squalane. It really moisturizes. What's interesting about this one, it's not a glossy finish, so I've been liking this one to use at nighttime, because the other one that I like is the Plasma Lip Compound by U Beauty. This is the most expensive lip product that I have in my collection. This was not sent by PR. This comes out like glossy, whereas this one comes out balmy, so it's a bit better for me at night because it doesn't stick anywhere. I quite like the balm at night, but the gloss is nice for during the day. This one tastes horrible. It's a clear gloss, it tastes horrible, and I remember thinking, like, I don't know what the purpose, I don't know what the thing is, I don't know why we're doing this, why this is so expensive. I was kind of getting mad at it. And because it was so expensive, I decided to wear it every single day, because I was like, yeah, it's this expensive. I don't want to feel like I've wasted my money. Now, here's the thing. Over time, and I think over time, meaning like in the 2 to 3 week mark, I felt like my face looked younger. And I wasn't sure what it was. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but my lips looked bigger. Not Botox bigger, but more like they had an age regression. I feel like my lips definitely sunk in a little bit, because this part used to be like less, like shorter, you know what I mean? Using this on a consistent basis, I actually made my lips have a little bit of an age regression. So that taste or the glossiness, all of that, I couldn't even care. I was like, oh my God, this is like the first lip product that actually visibly changed my lips for the better. It was kind of like the best lip care I've ever tried. I want to repurchase it. I know it's expensive, but it's like the only lip product that's not just adding moisture or gloss, but it's actually skincare infused, and it works. Another category that I'm adding is fragrance. Fragrances have been a big part of this year, but my budget can't afford all the fragrances. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 3 fragrances that I purchased this year that I really enjoy, and 3 that I've tried this year but are on my wish list because I just don't have the budget to buy them. So let's get started. The first fragrance that I want to talk about is Fleur Vanilla Skin. This is a hair body mist, but it might as well just be a fragrance. I know that they recently made a fragrance version of this one. I don't think you need it. This is quite strong. And this is going to be like vanilla cedarwood combination. It has a really sweet top note, and it dries down to a vanilla cedarwood. This is strong. It has a great sillage. It's just a really nice product to spray, and it's not too expensive for the amount. Yeah, I definitely would consider myself a vanilla girl, and I've been really enjoying the Gourmand vanillas. So one vanilla that I tried was this one by Kayali. I used to have like the smallest version of this one, and after I finished it, I decided to buy a larger version. This is the Kayali 28. This is nice. It's like a very sweet vanilla if you use it on its own, but you can combine it with other scents to kind of boost up the vanilla notes in the other fragrances that you have. And that's what I really like about it, because it's nice for fragrance layering, but it's also just nice on its own. It's going to be a sweet vanilla, this one, and even though it doesn't have I believe vanilla notes in there, like there's not actual vanilla in any of the notes. I think there's some like vanilla extract or something, or vanilla plant. I do feel like the vanilla is very prominent together with the caramel. So you're gonna get a sugary vanilla out of this. Then if you're looking for a floral vanilla, this YSL, this is the Libre Intense. So I tried all of the Libres, but the Intense version is the one that I love the most. I loved this to go to work. So this is sort of a floral lavender top note to a vanilla in the base note. And this is going to give you kind of a freshness that the other two don't have. I think if you have vanilla and cedarwood, you're going to get more of a autumn type of smell, whereas vanilla and caramel and sugar, you're going to get a very sweet gourmand vanilla smell. This is going to be more of a floral vanilla smell. So I really enjoy this. It's not too heavy, so I've been using this to go to the office with, and it's sort of like a signature scent idea. I think that this is definitely a scent that you can have on for it to be a signature scent. I really enjoy this one. This one was on my mind for quite a while. This one is really great for every single day, and this is one that I would recommend if you like vanillas but you don't want to have that gourmand vanilla. I've tried this year that I really want to have in my collection that are on my wish list, but for one reason or another, mostly money, I couldn't get. All 3 of these, they're not going to be on any sales because I waited for the sales to see if one of these would be on sale. None of them were. So let's first, since we're going in the vanilla route anyway, is Indult Tahoda Paris. This is Tahoda from Indult, and this is a straight up vanilla musk. This is going to be a little bit gourmand, but it's not going to be so sweet. This is if you are a vanilla lover and you just want to smell like vanilla. There's nothing else. The sillage on here is amazing. This a little goes a long way. So I've used this sample up only halfway because 2 spritzes will be enough. The full size bottle is about 200 euros, and they have a really good and beautiful sample set that I got. Yeah, I would recommend anyone to buy the sample set just to give some of the other fragrances a try. But Indult Tahoda, since I'm such a vanilla girl, is a pure vanilla, and because it's so strong without it being overpowering and making me feel nauseous, this is just on the wish list. And another vanilla, but this is a unisex vanilla, so this is going to be sort of a tobacco vanilla blend, is 2150 Reverie. I was upset because I was hoping that this was going to be on sale on the Victoria Beckham Beauty website, but it wasn't. So unfortunately, I missed out on it because I had to make some choices, and I decided to get Sarah Curiel Beauty instead. I bought a lot of their products, which should be coming anytime now. So this is going to be on my wish list. Since it's not on a sale, I decided I am able to wait with it. I don't have to buy it like right now until my budget kind of like says you can get it now. I really like this vanilla. It's inspired by Java. It has kind of that more masculine, like to feminine note in there. So this is not your typical sweet vanilla, sweet gourmand vanilla. This has a little bit more of masculine vanilla, unisex vanilla notes. And this is also nice for every single day. All of the fragrances by Victoria Beckham Beauty, they come in quite strong. So the sillage is really good. They do last all day. They're not beast mode, but they do last all day. And I love the bottle and the flask that they come into. So I really have this one on the back of my mind always. I would like to have this one in a larger version. My most complimented on, I don't even have it anymore because my sample is finished. You can get this at Skins, by the way. So I have a skin sample, and this is Parfum de Marly Valaya. This is sort of a fruity, floral, fresh, beautiful blend. It's not overpowering. It doesn't feel nauseating, even though it is a bit sweet. And this is a cloud like around you. When I put this on, people actually follow me around and ask me like, is that you? Are you wearing the perfume? It smells so good. What is it? And I've never been complimented on a perfume like I was with this one. Another problem is that the smaller version of this perfume costs 180 euros, so that's the small version. And this one is also never on a sale. I have been waiting to see sale season come around and seeing if this one was going to be on a sale, but it wasn't. So I decided not to purchase it right now, but this is going to be on my wish list for next year because I don't know, I really enjoy this smell. I really enjoy the blend of this. I really enjoy how feminine it is, and the sillage on it. A little goes a long way, and I feel like if you're going to invest in an expensive perfume, you want it to be a little goes a long way. Then for brushes, the ones I want to have a little shout out to are Refer brushes. I've been liking BK Beauty brushes as well. Unfortunately, all of my handles on the BK Beauty brushes have cracked, which is difficult for me to recommend BK Beauty brushes because I feel like that is part of the experience as well. So even though the brushes are really good, my Refer brushes are simply just better. They're holding up better, and there are a few brushes that I have used a lot this year. I'm not a foundation brush person, but Refer really did it for me. The Refer BO2 was a great foundation brush. It's really dense. It likes to blend out any creams perfectly. One that's a little bit less dense but has the black tip is the Refer BO4. What's nice about the black is it doesn't stain the white. So this one you see the staining a little bit, and it's pretty hard to get clean after if you've used it a lot of times, especially when you're using like bronzing products like the bronzy drops, for example. This one looks aesthetically much more pleasing, and there is a concealer version out there with the same bristles. This is not so densely packed, so it's quite soft, and this is the B05. Refer recently also sent me PR, so I want to thank Refer for recognizing my channel. It's basically as a thank you to my channel because I have been enjoying using Refer brushes. So none of these ones that I just showed you are PR, but they did send me the beautiful limited edition brush that I can't stop looking at. I don't think I'm ever going to use that one. It's just too beautiful. Like, some things are just like archive pieces to me. This one probably is one of those archive pieces, but that is the softest brush that I currently own and the most beautiful brush that I own. I want to start with base makeup first, and of course I'm going to start with primer. Originally I didn't have any primers that I really wanted to talk about, but the primer that has impressed me, and that's because I love the formula so much, is the Chantecaille, the golden version of their tints. I love the rose tint, I love the bronze tint. Of course I was going to like the golden tint as well. The rose tint is a little bit more uplifting and brightening. The bronze tint, of course, gives me that bronzy glow. And this one, in comparison, it just blends into the skin. So it's a little less unique, but I really enjoy kind of the glass skin look that I get from the golden glow. So I had to put it in here. I did a video on all of my tints, simply because I like the formula so much. It's probably my favorite formula of Chantecaille. So I'm going to include it in this video, and that's what I wore today as well. There are two foundations that I want to talk about and one skin tint. So let's kind of start with the skin tint, and that one is by Lisa Eldridge. This is a nice skin tint. I got mine in the shade T6. This one has hydration, a little bit of coverage, but you can still see my natural like skin kind of through it. And it's just been one of those products that has been really easy to use, really easy to pick up. And I like the finish of this. For someone that is a low makeup wearer, I think this is a great pairing for my preferences. And I have been really enjoying it this year, and that is why it's in this lineup. It is very serumy in texture, very lightweight, and you don't really feel it on the skin. But because of the hydration aspect, it also doesn't dry out your skin. I have oily combination skin. I don't know if people with very oily skin will like this one. You might want something a little bit more mattifying. Now, the two foundations I want to talk about, they really blew me away. One of them is, of course, the Dior Forever Skin Perfect Stick Foundation. I got mine in 2.5N, and even though I'm not a foundation lover right now, I was blown away by this simply because it was so poor blurring. I loved the way that this looked on the skin, and I love how travel friendly it is. It's simply just a very good foundation. So in my head, I was comparing it to the Westman Atelier. This one is going to be a little bit more hydrating, but the finish is really where it's at. I just really enjoy how the finish looks on the skin. It makes my skin look perfect, and I would say it'd be a medium coverage. So for days when I want to wear a foundation, for example, on wedding, this is when I want to pull out a foundation, and this is a great foundation to pull out if you want to go to a party or a wedding. For those of you that want to be more on the clean beauty side of things, I've tried a few Faro Midi products and this face palette that they had. So I did a side-by-side for me. So sometimes I test out the products before I do this video, where on this side I did the Faro Midi, and the other side I did the Dior. I've done this in the past as well, but I want to show you guys in this video. And look how similar they look on the skin. This is basically Dior, but then in a different, like a palette format. What's nice about this palette format is this is sort of a hybrid product, so you can use this as concealer as well, and it's a perfectly beautiful concealer. You're gonna get some medium coverage with this, but it is buildable, and there is a gloss balm on top of here if you want to use it as a highlighter, but I've seen people also mix the two around to create the perfect texture for their skin type. So I am like oily leaning. I like that this has a dry down in itself. If you're very dry in skin, you might want to combine it with the balm side, and then you can have a more of a hydrated formula. I really enjoy this. I got mine in the shade Sable, and the refills are available. Currently, the refill is available for 35 euros on Niche Beauty, which I feel as a refill for a luxury item is very like doable. You see a lot of pan here, so I have been really using this one. I'm very impressed with this one. Now let's talk concealers. There's 3 concealers that I want to talk about, and this is me narrowing it down. One of them is sort of corrector. This is the CCI by Arborium. Now there is some cons to this, so let's first talk about the cons. The first con is it only has a 3-month shelf life, and the second con is there's only 2 shades, and this is the darkest one. This is kind of based on their CC serum, CC like cream that they have, where it comes out white, and then when you blend it out, it actually adds some color. What's nice about this is it just looks really great underneath the eyes. Most of the days I'm not wearing any foundation and I just want to go in with a light concealer. This is a great light concealer option. It doesn't accentuate my wrinkles. You don't have to set it. It's just a really easy product to use. This is probably a product that I could wear when I'm like 40 plus as well. I feel like this will look good on mature skin. Even though it's hard for me to recommend a product that has a shelf life of 3 months, I've picked this up so often that I had to put it in this video because I'd be lying if I didn't put it in here, simply because this is probably my most used concealer, like my most used concealer option for this year. A very similar effect is the Victoria Beckham Beauty Concealer. Same problem, like the biggest issue is price, especially if you're gonna look at price per net weight. But the more I use this, the more I love it. I think out of the 2 of the Arborium and the Victoria Beckham Beauty, the Victoria Beckham Beauty is simply very pore blurring. It's beautiful on the skin. The more I use it, the more I love it. It is difficult for me to recommend a product that is this expensive. At the same time, I'd be lying if I told you guys I wasn't using this on a regular basis. This one has a little bit more of a shade range. I believe there's currently 8 shades, but you know, don't quote me on it. I haven't checked since last time I did a video, and it has a 6-month shelf life, which again also isn't great, but this will look great on maturing skin, textured skin. It doesn't emphasize anything. It's great if you want to have a light coverage makeup look. It is skincare infused. I think the best thing about this is it's so pore blurring that I can't deny that this looks just phenomenal on the skin. I have one just regular concealer, and that is by Westman Atelier. Westman Atelier shades, they might run a little bit yellow. Someone mentioned this, and I've seen reviews on them saying they run yellow. And I'll be honest, when I see the swatches now, I'm like, yeah, it ran a little bit yellow. So I have the shade Atelier, where am I? M1. So I guess that stands for medium 1. And I do really like this concealer. So this is going to be more of a medium to full coverage concealer. It's a beautiful concealer. It brightens up the face. It looks good underneath the eyes. The only issues I have with this currently is that I can go overboard with this concealer and then it will look cakey. So I have to use little, like little goes a long way. And this is a concealer that looks best if I do a full face of makeup like I did today. But when you have all the factors put together, I think that this concealer looks beautiful. And if you look on the face right now underneath the eyes, it does look really beautiful. I feel like it looks brightening. Thank God I have some yellow tones in my skin, because pulling out the yellow tones sometimes can make me feel more radiant. And that is kind of what the concealer is doing. I feel like it definitely looks more radiant underneath the eyes. It's a phenomenal concealer, especially if you're looking for a concealer that has a little bit more coverage. Then that's the one that I would recommend over the Victoria Beckham Beauty and over the Arborium. Now, I didn't use any new powders this year, so I'm going to skip over the powder section. The 3 powders that I used are the Westman Atelier, which is almost finished, and Chantecaille sent me a new powder. This was a 2021 favorite, and my last year's favorite I actually repurchased during the sale, which is the Charlotte Tilbury one. I used the Charlotte Tilbury one today, so a little shout out to them, but I didn't use any new powders this year. Hi guys, unfortunately with the original B-roll, something happened, so I have to refilm the B-roll. This is why it might look a little bit different now than in the original footage, but it's going to be the same product. So let's go. This year I have been loving one type of product, which is a bronzer, they call it, which is a bronzer blush in one. So anything that has a specific kind of reddish brown shade, that's what I've been going for. Since I don't like to wear a lot of makeup and I want kind of makeup that does like multiple steps in one, bronzers are completely like my deal. So I have a few bronzer options. I'm going to tell you which one is my favorite ones, but let me first introduce the ones that I have. So here we have the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer in the bronze shade. This is actually a highlighter for deeper complexions, but I've been using this as a bronzer. Another recent addition to the family, but I want to include it anyway because I've been using it consistently, is the Huda Beauty Blush Filter in the shade Latte. Again, same family. It's not going to have that highlighting property that the Dior has because the Dior is actually a highlighter. This is more of a true bronzer. It's a little bit harder to blend, but it has that shade that I want. And another formulation of like a similar family is the Dior Rosy Glow Blush in bronze. All of them have this sort of brown toned, reddish toned to it, so like a reddish flip to it, that make them great on the cheeks. They look like they're bronzers, but they also have a blush quality to them. And these are the ones that I have been using the most. Like this is the shade right now for me. So I know it's a little boring when you see the swatches because they look the same almost. So here it comes down to like preference in formulation. My favorite one, the one that's easiest to use, is the Forever Glow Maximizer. I would love to have this in multiple shades. I simply don't have the budget sometimes to buy multiple shades, especially when it comes to luxury beauty. And there's so many new items that are always being launched. But this bronze shade I've been using consistently. I want to say I'm about halfway. Like sometimes I see an air pocket, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm like already like somewhere down to here. Beautiful shade, really easy to use, even like a bronzer blush highlighter in one. And I use this all over the face. It shears out really easily. It gives you enough playtime, but you can also build it up and it just looks very pretty on the skin, very natural. And it doesn't look like one of those highlighters where you can actually see the sparkles. It looks like a very natural highlighter. This is the easiest one to use out of all of them. And this is the one that I reach for kind of like dummy proof makeup, and the one that I recommend anyone to get. It has a glass bottle, so it does feel very luxury. Then on the other side of my face, I decided to go in with the Huda Beauty, the blush filter. That's this side of the face. This one gives me a bit more pigment. It's made to be a blush, so therefore it's supposed to give a bit more pigment. This is definitely one, it dries down quite fast. So if you're going to use this one, try to use it like on one side of the face and then blend it out. You can still blend it out beautiful. And once it is blended, it looks so beautiful on the skin, and it's that perfect latte, like bronzer color that I had to put it in here because I've been really enjoying it. And then a subscriber told me that she usually layers the Dior Rosy Gold Blush in bronze on top of it, and that's what I did on both sides. And it looks so flattering. You don't need to do that. You can also use this as a blush on its own. It's simply just a really nice combination to work with, and it stays on all day this way. All of them are kind of sheer, or all of them you can shear out. So having them build up like that makes it look very natural and just, I don't know, very filtered. All of these three I love, but the one I would recommend the most is the Forever Glow Maximizer. So I've been looking for neutral tone bronzer simply to kind of contour my nose area. Since I don't wear a lot of eyeshadow anymore, I've been enjoying just putting a little bit of a bronzer in the crease and let that be that. And there are two that I couldn't really decide on which one I liked more. So I have the YSL, the All Hours bronzer, and I have this Dior duo, the Durissimo duo, and both of the bronzers in here are so stunning. One that's more of a bronzer in comparison is the YSL. This is a powder slurry type of formulation, I guess. So it is a very soft powder, a soft pickup, but you can still get some pigment to it. And I really enjoy this. It's very natural. There's nothing like too crazy about it. Like there's no shimmer or shine in it. It's a really nice component. It is a little bulky, but it does feel like a luxury item, and this has been serving me well all year round. The one that's been giving it a run for its money is this Dior Durissimo palette. Now this is a baked formula, so the pickup is going to be way less, so you have to really build it up to get to a bit of pigment. But for someone that likes light coverage makeup, as I do right now, this has been really, like, I've been really enjoying this formulation simply because you can't go overboard. You get very small little fine details on the face. And even though I'm not a highlighter user, I have been dipping into this one simply because the duo is so good. And it's nice that they come into a compact and you can use both of them. So both of these bronzers I've been using a lot, and I couldn't decide which one I liked better. I think if you like very light pickup, you like the baked formula, you probably know about them already. They come from Italy. You're gonna like the Dior one better. But if you kind of want your bronzer to just have a normal pickup, still have that luxury formula, I think the YSL is a very, very good option for you. Now, I didn't think I was going to have any highlighters in this section, but even for highlighters, I have sort of a highlighter blush in one that I had to mention because this one really blew me away, and that is the Westman Atelier Super Loaded Tinted Highlight in Peony. This unfortunately is a website exclusive. I put it on the cheek area. This looks so beautiful on me, and like during the winter time. I didn't think I was ever gonna like a color that's this pink. Usually these cool tones, they kind of wash me out. But this one looks like I'm kind of cold or something. Like it's giving me cold girl vibes. I love this, honestly. It's such a good formula. I've always enjoyed the Super Loaded Tinted formula, but I didn't think I was gonna enjoy this color. This color is subtle. You're still gonna get that highlight to it. There's enough pigment in here that you can still use it as a blush. So you're gonna get a very natural looking pink blush out of this with a bit of glow. Moving on to eyes. There's so many eye products that I can talk about. This was a difficult category for me, not because of palettes, because I haven't been using a lot of my palettes lately. For me, single eyeshadows is really where it's at. And the category single eyeshadow that like I needed to talk about is liquid shadows. So I'm oily in my eyelids, like most eyeshadows, they crease on me, and liquid shadows have really impressed me, especially the matte ones. So matte neutrals is the category that I first want to look into. So Lisa Aldrich launched her silky matte liquid eyeshadows, and two of them I use as eyeshadow primers. I often mention them when I do any type of makeup look, and that is those are the shades Irene and Phoebe. I use these as eyeshadow primers simply because my oily eyelids are protected, and the creasing, like there's basically no creasing when I use this one. And I use the shade Gaia all over the face. I did a short on that as well because Gaia is just such a beautiful bronzer color. You can use it all over the face. For these, a little goes a long way, and if you use too much, at least for me, they can look a little cakey and crepey and add texture. So I really had to learn how to use these in particular. I don't have to use too much to get the effect that I want, and they blend out beautifully. So I really have been enjoying this formula. It's not the easiest one to work with, but in terms of a formulation and my oily eyelids, I really enjoy them. And I had to include them because I've been consistently reaching for them, even when I do eyeshadow looks with other eyeshadows. The easiest formulation that I have been working with, one that I can also use all over the face, I think my most watched short as well, and it's really just the best formula if you want an easy matte liquid eyeshadow, is this one by Giorgio Armani. And this is also great if you want to use it all over the face. You can use it over your eyelids. It's so easy to use. This one blends like a dream, so it shears out a lot. So it's a dummy proof formula, and this shade is way more neutral than all of the other shades from Lisa Aldrich, and you can definitely tell that there's a difference in formula there. This one is much easier to work with. It doesn't have like a crazy dry time. It doesn't accentuate any like texture on the eyelids. This simply is the epitome of like one of the best liquid eyeshadows I've ever tried. 22M is definitely why this is so good. I think the color really works for itself. It's just an amazing color to have. And if you're a makeup minimalist, you might like this one even on the face as well, so you don't have to buy a lot of products. Color category will go to Violet FR's U Paints. They are so beautiful. Like these two purple ones, so the purple and the lilac. To get a purple this pigmented, it's really difficult. It's just a really nice duo, really nice to play with, and I loved them so much that I decided to get this blue one as well. So this is a deep blue, and if you have dark eyes like I do, this blue will make your eyes pop. This is such a beautiful color. So I typically use the darker shades as a liner. This is a twinkling shadow, this is a matte. So I actually like using the blue one as an eyeliner, and it just really flatters, like it's really flattering on me. But I know for certain that I got the blue one this year, and I have been really enjoying that one. So the latest one that I have is this one. That's the latest one they actually launched, and this is a sort of like a chestnut brown. And I just wanted to showcase them a little bit because I have been really enjoying the formulation. There is one powder eyeshadow that I have really been enjoying, which is this one by Jones Road. This is in the shade Smoky Brown. Like, this is such an underrated product. It's such a weird shade because you can use it to blend out like the outer corners and kind of get that smoky look. But if you blend it out, it actually is a really great transition shade. This is one of those shades where you can use one shade for the entire eye and it looks like you're wearing multiple eyeshadows. You can also use this as an eyeliner. It is a great formulation. It's blendable, it is pigmented, and it is underrated in the Jones Road like entire wheelhouse. Now, one drawback of this one that I didn't know, Smoky Brown I got in a set, and apparently this one is not available like as a single. Like, you can only get this one as a set. I'm complaining about that a little bit because I feel like more people need to talk about this shade in particular. It's easy to take with you because it's so small and thin. You can use this on like when you're traveling, you can use it on its own. It's great for minimalists out there. This is an eyeshadow that I would recommend in terms of formula, pigments, everything. There are two eyeshadow palettes that I want to talk about. One of them is by Chantecaille, the Cheetah Trio. Such a beautiful trio, guys. I know this is limited edition. I don't know if it's still out there somewhere, but this was one that was weighing on my mind quite a bit, and I decided to pull the plug and buy it. I got it on a sale, and since I had it, I have been using it consistently, specifically the two matte shades, because this all over the eye to just kind of take away some of the like eye veins that I have. Like, I don't want to see the veins. And this one to contour the eye with and even contour the nose with. So beautiful. The shimmer shade is sort of like a wet looking shade. So beautiful on the eyes. This is such a nice trio if you're a lover of like neutral palettes and if you're a bit of a like makeup minimalist. Now, another trio that I loved is this one. This is the Westman Atelier new Toujours trio, 3 mattes, new formula. I didn't think I was gonna like them as much as I did. I really like the way that this looks on the eyes. I'm wearing it today. I feel like it's making my eyes look less textured, like it's just a very soft eye look, and it looks filtered like on the eyes. So there's not a lot of pigment in here. Not everybody's gonna like this formula, and I would recommend this Chantecaille formula over the Westman Atelier formula, but I cannot deny how soft focused my eyes look when I use this one. And the colors are kind of neutral, maybe a little bit warm leaning, and that is what I am. So the colors complement me perfectly. And I like this eye. So this is the eye that you're gonna get with them, but I like the way that this looks. It comes out the same every single time. So again, dummy proof makeup. And I do really, this is like my favorite one of the entire Westman Atelier eye pods. So I have been consistently using these two, and specifically the Westman Atelier is the one that impressed me or kind of shocked me the most. Final eye products, I of course need to put an eyeliner, mascara, and something for the eyebrows, also a category I never talk about or like don't talk about a lot. But the eyebrow gel from Victoria Beckham Beauty is so good, guys. Like, I didn't know there was that much difference between eyebrow gels, but it's not just the wand that is really easy to work with. It's sort of like a toothbrush. It's really easy to comb through your brows with it, but there is quite a bit of a hold. And what I like about this formula, so if you're looking at the formula itself, it's almost like a serum-like formula, like the way that it looks. It's not thick. So you see the swatch, you see how that looks? It looks almost like, it looks like a serum, or maybe it's like a pigmented glue. I don't know. But that formula makes it so easy to apply. I never over apply. It always looks good. And there is some hold with it. So I do really enjoy how my eyebrows look. And you can see that the hairs stay up. So I'm really enjoying both the application and the formula on the Victoria Beckham Beauty one. I didn't think I was ever going to be excited on like an eyebrow gel, but that one really excites me. The eyeliner that I want to talk about is by Lisa Eldridge. She came out with the Kitten Flick eyeliner, and she had a mascara. Unfortunately, the mascara didn't make the cut this time, but the eyeliner is beautiful. It is black. It is small, like a little calligraphy pen, so you can really get close to the lash line. And I simply like this eyeliner so much because it wears all day, it doesn't smudge, and it's really hard for me to find liquid liners that just wear all day, don't smudge, and this one just does it all. It's not the most intuitive eyeliner that I've ever tried, but because of the results, I kind of reach for it consistently, and now I can get a very beautiful eye with this one, and I know that it just will last me all day. Finally, mascara. So there were a lot of mascaras that I tried this year, and a lot that could potentially be in this video, but the one that impressed me the most, that's just simply better than the rest, is this YSL Lash Clash Mascara. This one is just better than the Lisa Eldridge one. It gives me way more curl, it's easy to use, it has a really great wand that it's not too big, but still like you can get like all the way to the root of your lashes. You can build up. It's not a tubing mascara, but it lasts all day. It gives me length and volume, and my Asian eyelashes, they just look like they're at least there and present. It looks very beautiful. It's not clumpy. It's not hard to work with. It's simply a very good mascara. I also feel like I'm like the last one to try that mascara, but wow, so happy with that find. Lips. Let's talk about lip liners first. Lip liners, there's two lip liner formulas that I couldn't decide between because they're so similar. One of them is by Farah Hamidi. These are called, let me just see, the Smudge and Contour Lip Pencils, coming in that beautiful blue. And Lisa Eldridge, of course, also launched lip liners this year that I loved. And these are called the Sculpt and Shade lip liners. They're both these pencil lip liners with a high focus on very wearable contoured lips. And you can see it from the swatches. It's really difficult to distinguish them from one another. So I had to put both of them in this lineup. They've impressed me a lot. I love the neutrality of some of these lips. They're so easy to work with. They work with so many of my lipsticks, and I've been reaching for them consistently. I'm not really biased when it comes to these two products. I like use one or the other. My favorite ones are probably going to be N01 from Lisa Eldridge and Mink from Farah Hamidi. Those two are almost the same shade as well, but they just are my lips but better. But my lips looked a bit more contoured, and you can actually build it up so your lips look a little bit more plump. The deeper shades, 2W, for example, from Lisa Eldridge, is a great one to pair with a lot of lipsticks that I have, especially when you're in the warmer category. Whereas the Riche shade, that one is great if you were going for a very bold lip. I paired Riche this time around from Farah Hamidi together with one of my favorite lipsticks of the year. So there are two lipsticks that I really wanted to mention this year. One of them is by Westman Atelier, which of course is their new lipstick formulation, and look how stunning this looks. This is the shade Giraffe. And the other lipstick formulation is by Lisa Eldridge. This is her Rouge Experience, and I have the shade Simone, and that is the one that I have on today. This is Lisa Eldridge's like little baby. This is fully recyclable, so you can throw, if you're finished, you can throw away the refill. The formulation is something between her matte, so her velvets, and her luxuriously lucent lips. So it's somewhere in between. It's high pigment. Pigment stays on for all day. I want to say like close to all day, so it lasts a long time. And it's not too drying on the lips. The velvets can be a bit drying for me. This one has a bit of that like, I guess like moisture to it that isn't too drying for me. What's nice about this as well is that she really has this customized components, and it is inspired by her vintage makeup collection, and you can customize it even more by putting your initials in. I wish the initials, like I wish the font was different, but I did put my initials in because yeah, it's just a very beautiful luxury lipstick. There is an artwork here that I really enjoy, and formula wise, it's probably one of the best formulas that Lisa also has come out with. I think the velvets in this one are my favorite lipstick formula by her. Giraffe is a beautiful shade, looks a bit more warm on my lips, is a little bit more mattifying, but has a similar experience. This feels like butter when you put it on, and mattes out a little bit on the lips. So it's not the most like juicy formula, but at the same time the pigment lasts a long time. And look, the bullet is also just stunning. This is a stunning experience, and both of these deserve a spot somewhere in this video because I'm not a lipstick wearer. I love like lip balms, but these two impressed me so much in both their presentation and their performance that I needed to put them in this video. In terms of lip balms, there's only two formulations that I really had in the back of my mind. One of them is sort of like a lip gloss lip balm in one, which is the YSL Candy Glaze. I finally got to try it this year, and this is like a lip gloss in a balm stick form. It's so easy to travel with, and I love how juicy my lips look when it comes to this one. Again, the component, very beautiful. It feels like luxury, both in the formulation, and I love how hydrating it is. It's quite heavy on the lips though, so you might not have a preference for that. But if you're someone that doesn't like that kind of heavy feel on the lips, you might like these by Victoria Beckham Beauty. These Posh Balms they are so wild. They're very thin in formula. They're true balms, and the shades might look like this one looks super pink. It's not going to translate like that on the lips. It translates like a bit of a wash of color, like a tint. I've been really enjoying these. I've been wearing them a lot simply because they're so easy to put on and they're so flattering on the lips, and you feel like there's nothing on the lips, but they are locking in some of that moisture, and they're definitely part of the dummy proof makeup formulation as well. Right. And that is everything, guys. These are the best products of 2024: hair care, skincare, body care, lip care, brushes, fragrances, and makeup. This has been such a great beauty year for me. I've really been exploring into what I enjoy, and I really like to lean into everything that I enjoy. For the future, what I foresee happening is probably me focusing a little bit more on skincare, even less on makeup, but we never know like where the wind and the tides take us. This year was a difficult year for me with a divorce, and I still don't have a home, like getting a new job, all of that. But I feel like 2025 is gonna be like a new chapter, like a year of a new chapter. So I'm so happy we're rolling into 2025. I hope you guys have a beautiful, happy and healthy day. If you like the brands that you saw today, please subscribe to my channel or consider subscribing. Thank you guys for being here to celebrate all the milestones with me, getting PR from Shantakai, getting PR from Victoria Beckham Beauty, getting PR from Refer. These were huge milestones to me. I have 5,000 subscribers, or over 5,000 subscribers now, and that is all a very big deal to me because I started this channel 3 years ago and I didn't know what was going to happen with it. And now I'm here getting a bit of PR, getting a bit of recognition, and just really enjoying myself and exploring my makeup style. I hope you guys are joining me in the next year. I want to thank you guys all so much for watching. Like this video if you like this video. Comment down below. We have similar taste in makeup, and you saw some of your favorites here as well. And of course, have a happy and healthy day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!